just too frustrating, and you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, I don't believe we're on the eve of destruction.
We are holding this rally because rent has gone up. People are being laid off. Grocery prices are going up. Inflation's going up. Recession or worse is coming. Musk called Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Medicare recipients are scared of the cuts. Medicare is targeted for private companies. Veterans health care is targeted. Social Security, Medicaid, and Veterans admin staff are being laid off by Doge. No one is coming to save us. We must keep protesting. Say it with me. No one else is coming to save us. We must keep protesting. I am Kay Hendrickson, chair of the DFL Senior Caucus. Today, we are bringing you expert speakers and recipients to tell us how they are being affected by Trump and the Doge cuts. And the representative says, teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah!
I'm so glad to see you all. You're at the People's House. Yay. This is so important to me. I'm one of the new seniors, the baby boomers. I'm on the Veterans Committee, so I'm doing a lot to help support there. We support you. I have some fabulous colleagues here. So my name is Representative Mary Frances Clardy from Amber Grove, Sunfish Lake, Lilydale, Mendota Heights, and West St. Paul. And next we have Representative Pinto.
Okay. Hey there, State Representative Dave Pinto from St. Paul, if I can get this thing adjusted up. Okay, who's here from St. Paul? Okay, welcome to the state capitol. So glad that you're all here. And this thing is kind of dropping on me. So listen, friends, recognize this is your house and you belong here. And I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. And thank you for raising your voices to everything that's happening in Washington, D.C. and against the actions of the Trump administration. Thank you so much for doing that. We need to keep on coming back day after day after day. With my colleagues, know that we're working hard for you, and we're so grateful that you're here. I'm going to turn things over to, let's see who's next, Representative Kelly Moeller. Please join me.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. I represent 40A Northern Ramsey County suburbs. Yay! I just want to say, whoever gave the information about who you should be contacting at the federal level, don't forget also keep contacting your reps here. Also, please reach out to your local sheriffs. They are elected. We need to hold the line when it comes to federal government overreach and cooperation with ICE. So don't forget to contact them. Contact your local school boards, your city council, your county commissioners. For all those reasons, we need to protect our trans kids, our immigrant kids. All of those electeds at every single level are crucial that you're contacting them and contacting them frequently every day, every week. Make a list, make your call. Thank you so much.
Hey folks, my name is David Gottfried. I represent the Roseville-Shoreview area in House District 40B. I am the most junior member of this assembly, thank you, Emma. And I just want to say, when I was first running, members of the Senior Caucus were some of the most welcoming people to me as I first got going. So thank you all for that. Our goal right now as we're passing budget bills at the state level is to pass the most compassionate budget bills, and that includes taking care of our seniors and our veterans. We are finding some obstruction. The other side of the aisle wants to put policy, and really bad policy, into budget bills to help us fund state government. They are preventing us from funding state government and taking care of you. So when I say that, when Kelly says that you should be contacting all your electeds, yes, you should, especially if you have a Republican elected official at the state level. Hold them accountable, make sure that we fund our government and we are able to take care of seniors, of veterans, and of everybody else that needs it with the most compassionate budget that we possibly can. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Representative Rick Hansen. Thank you.
that for number 67, there, David? Bringing the tie to make us be able to do the work. I'm going to say a few things that often we didn't think we have to say over and over. We believe in collective bargaining. We believe in academic freedom. We believe in science. We believe in clean water. We believe in good food. Obviously. All of those things are things that bring us together. And they are the things that we have to fight for. They're the things that make America great. The public employees that are under threat, the private employees, the people who prepare the food, the people who grow the food, the people who make the food, deliver the food, and those of us who eat the food. We're all in this together. And these changes that are happening in Washington that are destroying our country and destroying the fabric that ties us together, it is so important for you to be here and keep showing up today and tomorrow. It's important to state these truths that we know are self-evident and have been self-evident for a long time. That's what those of us in the Minnesota House are fighting for. We need your help. We appreciate your support. One of our fighters for democracy, who talks about voting rights and the importance of freedom and making sure that everybody can vote, Emma Greenman is here to wrap it up.
How you guys doing this afternoon? So I won't repeat what my colleague said because, as you all know, if you've been around here a lot, in the DFL, we know that teamwork makes the dream work. We know that we cannot do this alone and we cannot do this without you. So here's what I want to say. It's 101 days of this bullshit, right? I hope I wasn't the first person to swear. Okay, good. But what we have learned, in addition to seeing the corruption, the cruelty, the chaos, is that we are not powerless. You are here where 43,000 people, probably many of you, stood a couple of weeks ago, and we know are going to come back. Folks across the state and across the country are fighting back because they know what democracy looks like. So if you know me, and I know a bunch of you, you know that I like a cheer. And I know you know this cheer. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. I can't hear you. Show me what democracy looks like. And this is what it will look like day after day as we stand up and protect it. We look forward to seeing you inside, outside, in the streets, in our communities, because we know that they come for one of us, they're coming for all of us. We are stronger together. Thank you for being here.
So we're getting a lot of people here, and a lot of people came up and said, that's my representative. And the representative says, teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah! That's great. Our next speaker is going to talk about how this is affecting veterans. So Jacob Thomas, a veteran from Common Defense, is going to talk to us about what is going on and how it's hurting veterans. Jacob.
Probably I'm a little too tall, but I feel like I might have to just pull it out anyway. All right, well, there we go. I'll bend down a little bit. That's fine. Hey, y'all. My name is Jacob Thomas. I am a United States Air Force veteran. Thank you. And I wore my favorite shirt today. So figured we could show that off. And thank you so much for having me. Like she said, I'm with Common Defense. I'm our communications director. We're the nation's largest grassroots organization of progressive veterans fighting for policy changes to help our communities and improve people's lives. Thank you. So business is booming right now. It's very busy. But I wanted to kind of briefly talk about what is happening with our VA, with veterans. And so we've got some other great speakers who are going to talk about their personal stories and how the VA has helped them. Luckily, I don't have any major stories with the VA. It's been smooth sailing up until this point. I've been using the VA for about 6 years after I got out of active duty, and I haven't had any issues. And that's part of what we want to keep making sure happens for all of our veterans across this country. Ensuring that the promises that we've made to our veterans after 20 years of war are actually followed through on, right? That we hold up to the mission and the values of what the VA is and ensure that we can continue to provide world-class care for our veterans. However, what the orange, unlike Erin Murphy, I probably will swear more than her. Unlike that fucker in the White House right now, who's getting Cheeto stains everywhere, who wants to cut 83,000 jobs from the VA, at least a quarter of which are veterans themselves, has given up on trying to hold any promises to veterans or the American people. The only promises he wants to hold are to Putin and to his billionaire buddies. But we're here to make sure that he knows and that everybody else in Minnesota and across this country knows that we will not back down, that we are fighting, because 83,000 jobs will decimate the VA. Veteran health care will suffer, and no matter how much, I know they don't really love facts in the White House, but I know here in Minnesota we do love some facts. And so the facts are, right, no matter how much he wants to say that they're just cutting bloat, they're just getting rid of some admin positions, they're just doing, it's not going to harm any care, it's not going to do anything. Well, what we've already seen is that it has, right? In getting rid of probationary officers, in helping kind of gut these things, letting an unelected billionaire run around slashing our federal government. We've already seen that hurt is happening and that it is real. We've seen spikes in suicide hotline calls from veterans. We've seen care being delayed already, right? And different other pieces where they've decided to roll back policy procedures that were helping rural veterans access telehealth care, and now they don't have that access. So if you live up on the range and you're supposed to come all the way down here to Minneapolis, to St. Paul to get your VA health care, right? How often do you think that an actual veteran, especially a disabled veteran, can actually get down and do that? Telehealth was a way that we could reach people wherever they were to ensure that they had the care that they needed and that they fought for, that they deserve, right? So no matter what he wants to say about how this isn't going to hurt anybody, it will, right? And I want you to think about this, right? When we talk about 83,000 jobs, it's just going to be bloat, it's just going to be admin work. How many the percentage of people in the Air Force? I was an Air Force guy, 8 years. Wound up here in Minnesota because of got stationed up at North Dakota. What's the percentage of Air Force pilots do you think that there are? How much of the actual Air Force are actual pilots? I'll give you a hint, it's really, really damn low. 4%. 4% of everybody in the Air Force is an actual pilot. The other 96% of those people are doing everything else that is required to make sure that a plane can get up into the sky and land safely, right? So if you're going to say, oh, well, we're not cutting doctors, we're not cutting nurses, well, I can say we're not cutting pilots, we're still going to have the great Air Force. Is that true? Hell no. Right? Is everybody that works at Target a cashier? Hell no. Right? If those stores aren't stocked and shelved and pallets taken off, there's so much work that goes into ensuring that things are successful, that we can actually provide the care that we need or do the warfighting mission that our Air Force or our Marines or our Army and Navy are supposed to do. It's not just this one particular person, this one doctor, this one nurse. It's everybody that helps make sure that scheduling goes well, that your follow-up care is taken care of, that you actually know the benefits that you have access to, right? All of that. there are over 9 million people in this country who use some type of VA service, whether that's disability services or using VA as their health care. Those real people are the ones who are going to suffer because of Donald Trump's garbage, bullshit policies, right? They are the ones who are going to suffer. Our veterans, the people who served, who raised their right hand to say, this is what I am fighting for, and I believe in this country. That is who is going to be harmed in this. And it's not just about us, right? It's not just about veterans. It's about everything that we hold dear, right? The oath that I took and that the other people you're going to hear from today took didn't have an expiration date on it. It was to serve this country, to fight for this Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic. And this is what patriotism looks like. No matter what that wannabe dictator, that wannabe king wants to say, this is what patriotism looks like. This is what democracy looks like. We the people it wasn't we the people. It was we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, do establish and ordain this Constitution of the United States. Not we, the unelected billionaire. Not we, the whiny, I want to be a king. No, we, the people, formed this country, and we will fight like hell for this country. And I am so glad to see each and every one of you here doing exactly that. So let's keep up the fight, 100 days strong. We've got a couple hundred more to go, but I believe in us, I believe in this country, and I believe that we are stronger and more powerful than anything that asshole up there can do. This is what we're fighting for. We've got some amazing speakers after me, and I just want to let you know too, with Common Defense, we are fighting across this country to do exactly this work. I'm so proud and honored to be here in Minnesota doing this work, and we're doing this all across the country. I'm actually flying out Sunday to DC to raise some hell and make sure we're bringing 100 veterans from across the country to talk to their lawmakers, to educate them on why the fuck they need to get their head out of their asses and start fighting back. Let's go. Thank you so much.
My name is Tom Edwards. I'm a member of the DFL Senior Caucus, a union leader, a retired disabled veteran, a retired postal worker, an anti-Trump, anti-Doge, and anti-MAGA American citizen. I served 13 years in the Navy, between active and reserve time. I served in the Persian Gulf, Beirut, Libya, 2 Gulf Wars, and more. My injuries allowed me to receive my care from the VA healthcare system and have since 2007. That's 18 years for those keeping count. And over those years, I can tell you I've received the best care from the most dedicated staff there is. The VA doctors, nurses, phlebotomists, schedulers, physical therapists, custodians, and the rest are the most professional, and they do it because of the veterans. The threat of privatization has been at the VA for some time now. Veterans have known it, but are only disguised as community care and call centers. Private doctors or dentists, not VA satellite centers such as Ramsey, Minnesota. And now we have Musk and Doge. Threatening 80,000 personnel cuts, and they're well on their way. Contract eliminations, and they're well on their way. Scheduling appointments, only to cancel them, to reschedule them into community care. Let me tell you, community care is not our friends, folks. Staffing reductions to the point that appointments are often weeks or sometimes months out. Just today, on my phone, I received a text that the schedule that was just changed on me 3 weeks ago was just changed today. So I had an appointment set. They took it away from me, gave me an appointment for about a month and a half out, and now they just changed it again on me. So that's what's happening with these cares that they say they're not good, or with these schedulings and these changes that they say they're not doing, but they are doing. And unless you're out there seeing it, you don't know they're doing it. And then even when you're out there, they tell you they're not doing it, but they are doing it. They can't even pick up the disposed needle boxes. They're full. They're hanging on the walls and they're full. And the nurses have to deal with this. It's like, that's not their job. They have contracts. That's what the contracts are. There's people that they pay and they hire out to come in and take and make sure that that gets done, but they're not getting done. So it is happening, folks. Excuse me. So what is happening at the VA and elsewhere across the federal government is real. And it is already or will be affecting a lot of us. And it is incumbent upon all of us veterans, Minnesotans, and Americans that believe in democracy, the Constitution, and the rule of law to stand up and resist these attacks on our way of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If you haven't yet attended a protest, attend one. Pick up a phone and call. If you got a pen, take it out, because I'm about to put out a phone number here. And I should have told you this at the beginning, but I actually forgot about it. I'm getting old too. I'm part of the senior caucus. But I call this at least 3 times a week. I watch for drones outside my house when I come out now because I do this. But pick up a phone and call the White House comment line. The number is 202-456-1111. It is the president's answering machine. 202-456-1111. They tell you you don't have to leave your personal information. I do. I let him know it's me calling him. And I'm not nice when I call it. I say things like, hey, asshole, why don't you resign? Get out of my White House. You're ruining my country. I don't like you. Take your crew with you. They're as treasonous to this country as you are. And I don't support you, so leave. And whatever's on my mind in the morning when I call it, that's what I say. So feel free to call it. I wait for a big black Suburban to pull up in front of my house in West St. Paul and disappear me to El Salvador or wherever I'm going. But I don't care, because I've fought in other places where I've been shot at. I don't care if he's going to come and get me. I'll just work with the people he's already put there. We'll figure a way out of there. Call your senator, call your congressperson. It's time. Remember, it isn't just the VA under attack. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid also are under the knife. The Constitution says, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Written in 1787, ratified in 1788, in operation since 1789. And here we are in 2025, fighting to form an even more perfect union because of one weak little man and his treasonous cabinet. I'd like to leave you with these words. If speaking out feels dangerous now, imagine how worse it will get if we stay silent. E pluribus unum. Out of one, many. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
All right, our next speaker is going to talk about layoffs. an epidemiologist with the state of Minnesota Department of Health got laid off. And can you believe that? And her name, we need that, right? Olivia Dillon, she's going to talk about her story and what happened. And what the heck? You know, with all the germs that are going around? Olivia.
On April 1st of this month, my world was turned upside down. I was laid off from my epidemiologist position at the Minnesota Department of Health because of President Trump's unconstitutional attacks on public health funding. I worked at MDH for 2.5 years in various roles, including the Unexplained Deaths and Critical Illnesses Program, Viral and Bacterial Respiratory Response Surveillance, and health monitoring for people who have had contact with avian influenza. I'm the one who reaches out to farm owners and their employees after confirmed avian flu exposure, and I coordinate their influenza testing. I'm the point of contact at MDH for medical examiners when they investigate deaths that appeared infectious. I saw daily how our work impacted all Minnesotans. I'm here today to talk about a public health emergency, the layoff of the hundreds of employees at MDH, many of them represented by my now former union, the Minnesota Association of Professional Employees, or MAPE. MAPE members at MDH spend their careers preventing harm before it happens, and now our expertise is being discarded at a time when disease threats from measles to avian flu are rising nationally. These staff cuts will impede the state's ability to prevent and contain outbreaks, significantly reduce support for nursing home patients, delay lab results and patient care, reduce funding for tribal public health, and so much more. Like me, my colleagues who were laid off were experts in their field. Minnesotans now face serious risk to the health and well-being of our communities. If Medicaid is also cut, the impact on health will be irreversible. I'd argue, however, that we are already in a place where this impact is irreversible. When you combine these losses at the state level with those at CDC, FDA, and other federal agencies that provide services to the public, we are no longer able to investigate outbreaks to the same level we did before. Legislators have spent a lot of time the past couple of weeks talking about current and potential federal cuts, yet legislative funding proposals are still failing to meet the challenges that we are facing in the state budget. We must do so much more and be so far bolder in our revenue asks to fix these problems that we are experiencing now and to prepare for the impacts of the federal government in the future. One of MAPE's slogans is "The state works because we do." The same is true of all workers and communities that are represented here today and the hundreds of thousands of more across the state. I do want to thank all of the elected officials who have been here today, who have pledged to fight along with us. We're here to advocate. We're all here today to advocate for the often unseen but critically essential programs that protect and expand public well-being, and we will keep fighting to preserve them. We are strongest together, and I hope each and every one of you are able to keep the fire in your soul and under your feet to stop these attacks on public services, because they are our public services. The health of all Minnesotans' bodies and minds do depend on each of us having our voice heard and our actions felt. Thank you.